I think they'd be surprised at how clean these actually burn, and for such a large facility.
The energy dollar stays in our own town. We're not sending wood waste to the landfill site. Through using the local fuel, we also create local jobs.
The community became aware and concerned about things like climate change and rising sea levels. We're living that. And it doesn't take long in British Columbia. If you start looking at biomass boilers, you end up talking to a guy called Fink.
The technology is so advanced. It's so efficient, there's hardly any maintenance required. You don't need dedicated staff. It's virtually fully automatic.
We're really able to optimize combustion, which leads to minimized emissions, and at the same time we're able to harvest that energy so that you can reduce your energy costs.
Welcome to Fink Machine Incorporated, the first name in biomass boiler fabrication, installation, and service. At Fink, we've been designing, building, installing, and servicing our turnkey biomass boiler systems for over a decade, with over 80 installations, from integrated systems combining business, industrial, residential, and public spaces, to swimming pools and arenas. Fink Machine Incorporated has the experience and expertise to take full advantage of the benefits that come from using a biomass boiler. But first, how does a biomass boiler work? When the woody biomass enters the boiler and is burned, the wood releases a syngas that is then combined with air. This is then used to heat rooms and buildings as needed. A biomass boiler isn't like sitting around a campfire warming your hands, but rather an example of smart, high-tech engineering, harnessing the hidden powers of nature. Biomass boilers are carbon neutral and use renewable resources, often wood chips, as a source of fuel to heat homes, businesses, and schools. At Fink Machine Incorporated, our teams of highly skilled craftsmen and designers work tirelessly to create efficient, modern, long-lasting biomass boiler solutions. Here, we see an example of a boiler being designed and built as a mobile unit, ready to be shipped and ready to work anywhere. Fink Machine uses custom welding, fabrication, and in-house supplies to ensure your project is of the highest quality and exactly what you require. Fink Machine uses Wiesmann curb boiler systems imported from Austria.
They're used pretty much anywhere you can think of. They're used from like in a residential home, right down to large industrial complexes, large swimming pool. The largest swimming pool in Germany, for instance, is heated with biomass boilers. They're always significantly cheaper than oil. Favorite ones I could probably point out is the Yellowknife Airport. We were able to put a biomass system in heating the entire airport. Right next to it we have another boiler heating the combined service buildings for the airport. It is cold in Yellowknife, yes. It's one thing to sell a system to a customer, but it's another thing to be here for the customer afterwards for service and any help they need. It takes perseverance, and when you're working on a good thing, you just stick with it and push through until you reach what you dreamed of.
It's a struggle building an economy on a reserve in Canada. You have to be stubborn. You don't take no for an answer from anybody. This new venture we got into was putting into a biomass boiler in the community of Oldmasset, which is now opening up doors of opportunity, selling heat to the entities that want it. We thought, as an example to the community and taking a stand, is that our four main buildings here, so that's the band office and the community hall, the school, the health center, and the social development and child services building. We found out we were spending up to $14,500 a month to keep those four buildings heated, and our carbon footprint was over 300 tons a year. So something like this comes along, suddenly you see a way out of all that. We're saving a lot, like $120,000 a year. The only thing I see coming out of the smokestack is steam. It's setting that example and telling the world that we're taking climate change seriously. Probably switch over a lot of schools, hospitals, that kind of thing. 3-bedroom homes in the community, they're paying $350 a month to heat their home right now. They'll probably be able to do it for $40. But at the end of the day, this is the only way to go. They were very encouraging and saying, no, this is all looking good, and they just kept us motivated, and we went right through, and it all happened just like they said it would. The maintenance guy would tell you what's going on. So I phoned the school and said, could I speak to maintenance man. The reason I'm phoning is about that new Fink boiler you put in. I want to know what you think about it. And the guy said, well, there's just one big problem. And I thought, here we go. And I said, so what's your problem? And he said, I got nothing to do now. So before he was working 8 or 9 hours a day just trying to keep the old heating systems going good enough to keep the kids warm. And now once he fired it up and worked out a few kinks, and he's basically reading a magazine all day. So he's getting bored and gaining weight. That was his big problem. You know, if a switch blows up, I don't want to have to phone Sweden to get them to send me something that'll take a month to get here. I'd phone Fink and it'll be on the next plane. They know their stuff, they've proved it, where they've put in these machines, and some of them were just amazing. You know, the greatest thing about Fink was the relationship. So all these things, if you have a good relationship, you can do anything.
We are a one-stop shop. Not only do we supply the boiler, we can design the entire system. So from the CAD drawings to the design of the container, placement of the augers, electronics, the pipes, it's a one-stop shop. We deliver it, and the commissioning period is very short. Usually we're in and out of there within days or a week or so. Fink Machine does not charge for tech support. We're on call 24 hours a day, and usually over the phone we can solve your problem. Or what we can do now is dial into your boiler, diagnose your system through our location, our office here.
I said, hello everyone, my Indian name is Winnochtina, means big voices speaks the truth. It comes from my great-great-grandfather. And I'm the chief here at the people of Splatsina of the Secwepemc Nation. This center really represents, if you will, a traditional pit house and who we are. How do we heat such a large building? I think it's probably 30,000 square feet at least. The cost of heating would be astronomical. Electric is out completely because that would have been through the roof. Fossil fuels are really out as a form of energy in terms of producing for heat and those kinds of things. It's not something that's efficient. You know, natural gas, there's a natural gas line that goes through here. I think we looked at those kinds of sort of heating, but the costs for those things are actually quite large for the size of a building. Well, I think in the biomass heat, the key would be the issue of air pollution. Like what is actually going to be happening. You're burning, you're burning wood, basically, waste wood, but you're still burning wood. So what that was one of the concerns. But then looking at the data, it probably produces less air pollution than wood stoves do. Because if there are people that go out into the mountains and see all the cut blocks and the amount of waste that's left on the ground still, they would be amazed at how that can be turned into something useful, in this case, energy. You know, if there are issues around that, like I said, we hear about it. If there are issues, we've heard nothing in terms of the operational. We can call them if there's a problem, they'd be here. It's always comfortable. In the summer, it's nice, it's just beautiful, it's cool, it doesn't get too warm. So. Well, yeah, subdivision, houses, new school, all that kind of infrastructure, I think would be really critical. I think any facilities that we build in this area, we'd look at hooking into the biomass heat. We looked again, like I said, something that was local and something that would be sustainable. It's been a great process, actually.
The ability to maintain these systems is crucial, especially when we're talking about some of the remote locations that we go into, such as in the Northwest Territories, the Yukon, and parts of northern British Columbia. One of the projects that I like most is a community that went and took and connected a biomass boiler to a new wastewater treatment plant. And by connecting the boiler to the wastewater treatment plant, they're preheating the water coming in the wastewater treatment plant, which makes it more efficient. They're also heating a number of adjacent buildings. So it's really a win-win-win for a lot of people.
Whether you are just considering a biomass boiler or have used them in the past, let Fink Machine Incorporated show you how their top-of-the-line boilers, cutting-edge in-house design and fabrication departments, and their friendly, knowledgeable staff can make the entire process streamlined and seamless. Using wood biomass boiler systems is good for the environment, and it will benefit your business today and for generations to come. Fink Machine will help you realize your vision of a clean, profitable, and sustainable future. Contact us today and learn how easy it is to save money and precious resources. Fink Machine Incorporated, the first name in biomass boiler system fabrication, installation, and service.